Ahoy there, pirates! Amir or One Falcon, here from Rare Thief. If you want to add another layer of defense to your ship, or hope to surprise an unsuspecting crew as they deliver their treasure, you'll want to have a few traps at your disposal. Traps are a type of throwable that you can deploy by throwing them down on flat surfaces. Once deployed, traps will unfold, becoming armed, and can inflict damage and a brief limp to any pirate who steps on one, including the pirate who placed it. The limp will last for about 4 seconds. So, if you, a crewmate, other pirates, or other enemies walk over the trap, it will snap shut, dealing damage and a limp. Traps are a single-use resource, and you can only deploy up to 2 traps at the same time. If you throw down more than 2 traps, the oldest trap you threw will self-destruct. All traps look the same, so you can't decipher between traps set by your crew or other crews. Traps will stay active in the Sea of Thieves for as long as other items you can pick up, such as chests and skulls. You can access traps from your throwables in your item radial. You'll need to be mindful of where you want to throw your trap, as they have a much shorter range than other throwables like firebombs and blunderbombs. You can throw traps down on almost any flat surface, from the beaches and rocks on islands to the deck and hulls of ships, including other cruise ships. However, you cannot place traps inside taverns on outposts, to prevent pirates from a rude awakening upon entering the Sea of Thieves. You also can't place traps in deep water, but you can set traps in shallow water, preventing them from easily being seen. If you're looking to defend your ship, you can place traps by your ship's resource barrels, at the top of your ship's ladders, and even in the crow's nest. Just remember where you place them so you don't trigger them yourself. You can find traps in various storage containers throughout the Sea of Thieves, such as resource barrels, rowboats, and storage crates. Traps are about as rare as firebombs to find. You can hold up to 5 traps at once. However, they share the same inventory as your other throwables. So, if you already have 4 firebombs on you, you can only pick up 1 trap. As for disarming traps, you can only disarm a trap when you are crouched. When you find a trap you want to disarm, crouch and slowly approach it until you see the prompt to disarm it. You can then hold down the interact button until the trap is disarmed. If you have space in your inventory, you will pick up the trap and any item loaded into it, allowing you to use them for later. It is important to note that you cannot disarm buried traps. You'll have to dig those up first, before you can disarm them. If you don't have time to disarm the trap silently, you can also damage it to trigger the trap and destroy it. Damaging the trap will also trigger the loaded item if it has one. Disarming traps isn't the only action you can perform when interacting with a placed trap. Once you've deployed a trap, you can add an item to the trap's loader to enhance it. When the trap is triggered, the item you've added to the loader will activate the item's effect. So, if you add a blunderbomb, the trap will inflict additional damage from the blunderbomb on top of the damage from the trap. To add an item to the trap's loader, approach the trap while crouched and interact with the prompt for the loader. You'll then see your inventory and the trap's inventory. Choose the item you want to add. You can swap out what's in the loader if you change your mind or remove it completely. However, you can only add 1 item at a time, so choose wisely. The items you can add are firebombs, blunderbombs, green cursed cannonballs, bone collars, fireworks, and flares. A loaded trap can also trigger nearby traps after a short delay, causing a chain effect. So, how do you bury a trap? You can partially bury a trap placed on dirt, grass, or sand with your shovel. While you cannot entirely bury a trap, you can bury it enough to make it hard to see from a distance. Buried traps deal the same amount of damage and have the same proximity radius as unburied traps. Just remember, you can't load a buried trap, so load it before you bury it. If you have any questions, comments, or sneaky ambushes to share, be sure to leave a comment below. See you on the sea, pirates!